This is That Guy Jig Sports Podcast. I am him, JIG. Subscribe, rate, or review. Amazon, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Check us out. Don't forget about the Instagram at That Guy Jig. Jigsaw Jimmy 17 on the YouTube. Week 6 of college football is officially here. Last night, Friday Night Lights took us to this place. We already have seen upsets. Houston beat TCU. I don't know if you know about Houston. New coach, Willie Fritz, just came over for Tulane. They are completely terrible. They won one game before last night, went into TCU, got that win versus Sonny Dykes and them. Now, TCU is kind of reeling this year. They were supposed to be middle of the pack, but as the season has shown us already, we have pretenders, we have contenders, and we have people we should have never been fucking talking about. And Florida State, you are one of those people that I'm talking about. But you've had it bad already, so we are going to let you live. We're going to let you go on because you play Clemson today, and Clemson's probably going to win that game by 21 plus. This season will teach you some things. The new college football landscape has taught me some things. And the things that they have taught me is this right here. Non-conference games are not that important anymore. They're beautiful, they're cute. It's always good to see what your team can do against another conference's best. That's great for the fan. We love to see it. But overall, what are we talking about? Clemson looked like a joke at the beginning of the season when they played Georgia, who is probably going to be in the playoffs, who will probably be one of the top 4 teams in the best conference in college football right now, which is the SEC. When they played this team and got smacked, they were written off. But I'm telling you, non-conference losses aren't that important when you have automatic bids. Automatic bids trump all. The conference games are that much more important. The ACC is that much more important than Clemson. Clemson probably will be in the playoffs with probably 1 or 2 losses. I don't see Clemson losing again until they play the likes of Miami in the ACC championship. Maybe they have a hiccup, maybe they don't. But what I'm saying is the conference play matters. This season is still young. They're still changing. There's still moving parts of this locomotive that can change, that can be swapped out, that can be upgraded. We got players dropping out mid-season. That's something I'm about to talk about right now before we get too deep on week 6. I think this is terrible for college football. I am all for the transfer portal. I am all for NIL. But I think it is a bad thing to let happen when you start letting players virtually quit mid-season, put on a red shirt, and then get ready to enter the portal. I think that is a terrible example to set, and I don't think that's something we need to let continue. I think players need to finish the season. Either finish the season or don't go. I don't believe in this whole, we're going to play the first 5 weeks of the season. We lose a game. Now I'm going to transfer. I'm going to sit out, red shirt, and then transfer. I don't like that. I think this is when we're starting to really open up a can of shit. Like, this is when things are going to start getting really ugly. Now, I understand the Sluka situation in UNLV. I understand that. That's a different situation. Promises weren't met. Deals weren't met. Now, I'm not telling you to go to work if you're not getting paid. Me personally, every payday, I check my account. If my check is not in my account, I don't go to work. That's the game I play. Now, these kids are going to play something similar. They're kids, first and foremost. They're not really all developed mentally. So at this point, they are going to make irrational decisions. And we have to be there to smack them on the wrist and say, nah, you shouldn't do that. And this is one thing we need to start smacking wrist about. This is a terrible idea to let happen. You are allowing kids to step out, quit mid-season, and go look for better opportunities during the season. I mean, you're basically opening the door up for, in-season recruiting. That's what you're opening the door for. You're opening the door up for just straight tampering. Tampering. At this point, we got to figure something out. I'm done with that because week 6 is here. There's some good games. There's some setup games. The week 6, I want you to think about. Week 6 is right the part of the movie where you know who the killer is. You've known who the killer is for the first 20 minutes of this movie or this show, wherever the hell it is. But you know. But this is the part where the main character figures out who the killer is. Like off Breaking Bad, when Walter's brother-in-law was taking a shit, and then he figured out, oh my God, Walt is Heisenberg. This is where shit gets real. Because we can see who's at the top of each conference. Each conference is about 6 to 8 deep right now, people. That's why I'm telling you, this season is far from over. The ACC right now, Clemson, Duke, Miami, Boston College, SMU, and Louisville, and the University of Virginia are all undefeated and competing for the ACC championship. Louisville and SMU play today. Clemson's undefeated. They play Florida State. They're going to keep climbing. They're going to keep falling up and down. This ladder is going to change its rungs. It's not going to be the same ladder that we know five weeks from now. The Big 12, same thing. BYU, Colorado, Texas Tech are leading the Big 12 right now. None of those three were supposed to be doing this. This is a long season. 3 conference losses, you're out. 3 conference losses, you're out. And that's why I'm going to die on the Mike Gundy train at Oklahoma State. Until they have 3 losses in conference, I will not believe in this team. The Big 12 is a fucking gauntlet right now. This is probably the most chaotic conference as far as who's leading and who will be leading towards the end of the season. Like I said, BYU, Colorado, Texas Tech, Iowa State, Arizona, West Virginia, K-State, and Utah all make up the top teams of the Big 12. And that's with Oklahoma State having 2 losses and still having the ability to climb in there. This conference is going to be action-packed towards the end of the season. Colorado is going to do a little bit better than expected. This Travis Hunter hype train is worth it. I've seen the guy play live. He is a game changer. I personally believe he's a better cornerback than he is a receiver. I don't think people understand what a volume receiver versus what a receiver is. Luthen Burden is a receiver. Travis Hunter is a volume guy. He has to get targets. He has to get catches. You have to target him a lot. Travis Hunter is not going to put up the numbers he has on 3 or 4 catches. He's not going to route you up on a post route and beat you. He's going to get you on slants, digs, stop routes. Just get the ball in his hands. He's a playmaker, and I think that's where people are confusing receiver with a playmaker. He's just a playmaker. He's a great playmaker. He's a great corner. He's probably one of the best corners I've seen in person. The guy literally, I mean, we've seen him play 3 people 2 years in a row. We saw him do it last week, and then we saw him do it at TCU. The guy knows defense. He has a natural instinct to be in the right place. He's never in the wrong place, America. He's never in the wrong place. You will never catch him in the wrong. Listen, this guy knows where to be and how to be there. And that's what you want in a great DB. And this conference better watch the hell out, because the more confident the other players at Colorado get, the more dangerous Colorado is. The more comfortable everyone else gets, the more confident they get. Double C's, CC's, confident and comfortable. The more dangerous Colorado will be. And it's just that simple. They have a very tough schedule, but I do see them competing. 2 games away from being bowl eligibility. 1 game away from being bowl eligible. 1 win away from being bowl eligible. They have the bye week this week. Watch out for the Big 12. It's going to be exciting. Arizona has a tough game today. Arizona plays a game where it's not like, okay, you guys are really supposed to win this game. I'm telling you that this conference is going to be very exciting. The Big Ten's the same way. We got Oregon and Ohio State next week. Those are 2 of the top 10 teams in the Big Ten. Nebraska and Rutgers play today. Nebraska's a 1-loss team in the Big Ten who still has to play Ohio State. If they can find a way to beat Rutgers today at home for homecoming, then they will put themselves back into the Big Ten championship race in the conversation. Indiana, this is a team I want you to get on. If you haven't watched Indiana play the sport of football, please go watch Indiana play the sport of football today. They're going to put up points. They play Northwestern. They should cover that 13.5-point spread. I want you to go watch that game. You got a little homework. The Big Ten overall is a deep conference, but I don't think it's deep with the top 10. I think it's deep with teams in the top 20, top 15, that area. You know, the 15 to 25 area. That's where the Big Ten is truly deep. I don't think Michigan's truly a top 10 team. They have them up there because you have to bulk up the schedules. You have to get these guys some ranked teams. You know what I mean? Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, those three, top 10. Top 10 for sure. USC is not a top 10 team. They're a top 15, top 20 team in America. Same with Michigan. You can't tell me a top 10 team in college football today is a team who can't throw for more than 100 yards. I just don't buy that stock. I can't buy that stock. I won't buy that stock. But overall, I do buy stock in the Big Ten. I love the Big Ten. I think this conference is going to be great in the future. I think next year they'll get a little bit more footing. They'll get a little bit more depth amongst their teams. But overall, I still think the SEC is king right now. But that conference is a great race. The SEC is another conference that you got Georgia and the University of Oklahoma and Ole Miss all have one loss. These are all three one-loss teams that are probably going to be competing for SEC championship talks. Oklahoma is probably on the bottom end of those three, but they'll still be there. I'm telling you now, if OU gets healthy with the defense that they have, they're going to be all right in the SEC. I think Missouri's a little bit overrated. I know their schedule is light. Their schedule is favorable, but their defense is not. Missouri is last year's USC. Great football team, great talent, terrible defense. And it's just that simple. Tennessee, undefeated, looking really good. Excuse me. Looking really good. But they go on the road to Fayetteville. Arkansas tonight is going to be rocking. A night game in Fayetteville, weird things happen when you start talking Tyson chicken at night. Okay? That's when Tyson chicken becomes a gourmet meal. And you start putting fucking Alfredo sauce on it. Now you got chicken Alfredo with the Tyson. And you know what? If you've never had it, then fucking adventure a little bit. You know, you don't always have to go to the good spot. Sometimes, Tyson chicken's going to be popping. And then that stadium's going to be popping at night unleashed. What I'm telling you is this. If Tennessee does not come out and punch Arkansas in the fucking mouth, if they do not come out and put up 28 points in the first half, if they do not come out and show Arkansas you do not deserve to be on this field, this will be an upset. This is my upset of the day. Tennessee at Arkansas. Arkansas has the 6th ranked offense in America, I believe. They put up numbers. They should have beat Oklahoma State, but they shit down their leg and it was green and stinky. And they lost to Texas A&M last week. Rivalry game. Do not let this game fool you. Nico is going on the road. This is going to be a very interesting game for Arkansas. For Tennessee. Arkansas, this is a game you want to win just for pride and culture setting. Pride and coaching setting. Culture and coaching setting. This is Sam Pittman coaching for his career. There's another game in the SEC where a guy is coaching for his job, and that is Billy Napier. I don't know many things in life. I really don't. I don't. I do my research. I try to read. I try to learn. I truly do. But there's one thing I know. And this cannot be questioned. If the Florida Gators lose to the University of Central Florida, if they lose to UCF today, if they lose to Gus Malzahn and those Knights, Billy Napier will be fired by Sunday. If Florida loses to the Golden Knights, the coach will be fired by Sunday. And I predict Lane Kiffin will be the next coach of the Florida Gators. If it's not Lane, I don't know. But I'm telling you, Lane Kiffin needs a place where the culture is to win. It's not to party, it's to win. No offense to Ole Miss. You're a great university, great culture, what the fuck ever. But you're not Florida. You're not those rowdy reptiles. And listen, he looks like an alligator. I'm telling you, there's a direct correlation with coaches that somewhat look like the mascot, man, and the success of the team. Case in point, look at Kalen DeBoer. He has a little elephant look to him. And look at Alabama. Look at Kirby Smart. Tell me Kirby Smart doesn't look like a damn bulldog. Come on. He looks like a little bulldog. If he was a dog, he'd be a bulldog. And guess what? Kirby Smart is dominating at the University of Georgia. I'm telling you, there is a direct correlation with head coach's success and the school mascot. If they don't match up with the school mascot, they won't be successful. I'm just saying. Case in point, look at Mangini. You know, that guy was a Jayhawk. Does he look like a fucking bird? I don't think so. Here we go. And we got the Heisman, the He Is Man Award. Right now, gun to my head, Cam Ward, number one. Number one. I think Cam Ward should be everyone's number one. I think he's balling. And I think Miami's in a great place. Number two, Jalen Milroe. Jalen. The reason I don't have him at number one is because Ryan Williams, you know, is it Ryan Williams or is it Jalen Milroe or is it Kalen DeBoer? I don't know. I need to see more. I need to see more to make a true decision. So give me Jalen Milroe at number two. Number three, Travis Hunter. I don't think you could have a top 5 Heisman list and Travis Hunter is not on there. He is indeed the best college football player in America. There is not a better college football player than Travis Hunter. I'm serious. I am serious about this. This guy and the way he plays the game of football is scientific. This isn't just an athlete out there who's faster than you. He can jump higher than you. No. This is a man who knows the game of football. This is a guy who eats, shits, breathes football. That's all. And we are seeing it on every Saturday. Every game that we've seen Travis Hunter in, he's done nothing but perform. Yes, the Stanford guy went crazy on him. Yes, but that's football, folks. If you don't know football, listen, sometimes you just get got. You can do it. And you know what's so crazy about all this? He was never in the wrong place. He was always there. It just happens. Shit just happens. And that's what football is. Shit happens. And how can you respond? How are you going to respond? And Travis Hunter has done nothing but respond great. I was at that North Dakota State game, and let me tell you something. They don't win that game without Travis Hunter. If Colorado somehow makes it to the Big 12 championship, he should win the Heisman, and it's not even close. If Colorado, with the schedule that they have, and the games that they have to play, and the environments that they have to go and play in, with the roster that they have, who we can all agree is subpar at most positions, especially on that defensive side of the ball. If this team can go to a Big 12 championship, they ain't got to win it. Just go. Travis Hunter is my Heisman winner. And that is something you can take to the damn bank. If they go to the Big 12 championship, Travis Hunter will be the Heisman Trophy winner. And it won't be close. And that right there is the type of national attention that Deion needs to get these recruits to come to Colorado. This transfer portal is not going to work without supreme talent. That's the thing. You can go to the transfer portal when you have Shedeur. You can go to the transfer portal and supplement players when you have Travis. When you don't have these players, Coach Prime, how are you going to get these players to look good? My point being, does Shepard look good without Shedeur? Does 10 look good without Shedeur? My point is Shedeur makes a lot of things happen for you. And when he's gone, you need someone to replace him. I'm telling you guys now, Julian Newman is going to Indiana. The way Indiana is playing football, that's where that guy will be going. He will not be going to Colorado or USC. He's going to the Big Ten. So now I'm interested to see Coach Prime's second act. The first act's been great. Jackson State, Colorado 2 years, it's been great. Act 2, what can you do? And this is what we're about to do. Let's get to this fucking money. We talked a lot about college football. We talked a lot about some about some good games today. There's some solid ones. So let's talk about some money, huh? Here we go. And remember to follow the Instagram at ThatGuyJig. ThatGuyJig on Instagram. And that's where you will find these picks that we are about to go over right now, starting with the 10 a.m. Mountain Time games. Texas A&M and Missouri. Missouri's first game outside of Columbia. I love Missouri's offense. I do. Luther Burden, I think he's one of the best wide receivers this side of the Mississippi. The problem is Missouri has a subpar defense, and I think Texas A&M's defense will get more stops than Missouri's defense. Missouri's defense got exposed by Vandy last week. That kind of scared me. I don't like them. I don't trust them on the road, so give me Texas A&M at home, protecting home field, keeping that undefeated SEC record going. Moving on, SMU at Louisville to give me SMU +7. They're giving us a touchdown. We're going to take it. Louisville lost last week to Notre Dame. They lost very admirably, but you still lost. And that's why Notre Dame will still be in the playoff conversation, is because they'll be able to play games like this and win. Now, Louisville and SMU is one of these teams that are new to the conference. But the difference between SMU and everybody else in the ACC is SMU has direct access to the Texas talent pool. That is the difference. The TTP, the Texas talent pool. I'm trying to tell you that is one of the deepest and most richest pools in all of the world. The TTP, the Texas talent pool. SMU has a fucking front row season pass to it. You know what I mean? They have the prime tickets. They don't wait in line. They just go to the side. Let him through. Let him through. Let him through. That's what they do. That's what they have over there at SMU. And that's what's the difference for me. They have the talent. They are very bought into the quarterback Jennings and the way he plays. They're a balanced offense. Give me those 7 points. Moving on, UCLA and Penn State. Penn State, it's time to send a message. James Franklin, it's time to send a message. Let's run up this fucking score. It's only 47 points we're asking for. I think they can do that. I need UCLA to score 14 points if you can to help us out. But overall, I think that number can be achieved. We're going with the overs. It's in Happy Valley. So give me that. Boston College at the University of Virginia. Boston College gets their quarterback back. Bill O'Brien gets happy. They won last week with the comeback from behind victory with the new quarterback, largest comeback in school history. I'm taking the 2 points. Give me Boston College. Ohio State at home versus Iowa. Take the points. I know we got hoed last night by Oregon. I know. But Ohio State is going to beat the living hell out of Iowa. If this was in Iowa, I would think a little bit more hard about it. Like May said, you should have took more time to think about it. Well, I would definitely take more time to think about it. But Ohio State's at home in the horseshoe, damn near already almost unbeatable there. Iowa just does not have the facilities or the athletes to compete. Give us those points. The overs and unders in the South Kakalaki and Ole Miss game. Look for Ole Miss's offense to come out with a new level of focus and a new level of just straight, we have to score every time. South Kakalaki is going to be able to put up some points against this team. It took LSU a last-minute drive against them at home. I like the overs. They want 53. I'm thinking it's going to be about 57. Give me that. Rutgers and Nebraska. This is about to be one of those, imagine two guys just tie themselves up, wrist to wrist, and they just start punching each other in the face, and the first one that falls loses. That's what this game is going to be. So if that's the case, give me the points. Give me Rutgers +7. I think Rutgers' offense is going to be fundamental enough not to turn the ball over and rely on that defense. Dylan Raiola is a freshman phenom, but he's still a freshman nonetheless. He is. That offense might make some mistakes. I know Nebraska's at home. It is homecoming, but still give me Rutgers +7. I'm taking Boise State -27.5. They have the best running back in America. They put up points. I like them at home. The blue Smurf turf. Give me the -27. Arkansas, I told you earlier what I was doing. We're taking these 14 points with Arkansas at home versus Tennessee. I just really love it. I love it. I can't just tell you how much more I love it, but I love it. Florida versus UCF. I told you they can't lose. Florida's the dog right now, so give me the Florida points +2, and then I'm going to go in and take the Florida money line later on. I want a double dip on those Gators. Give me a double dip on the Rowdy Reptiles, keeping little brother in his place. Miami on the road at Cal. I know it's a late game. They want to hype this shit up. Miami's going to beat the living hell out of Cal. Cal does not have the facilities. I understand they have the defensive line. They have a good little pass rush. It's not going to mean anything. You got two guys on Miami's offense who are from the Pac-12. They are not going to let their team sleepwalk through this game. They will be ready. Texas Tech and Arizona, late night game, probably going to be one of the most fireworks game. Give me the Texas Tech +6.5. Anytime you have a bunch of points, just give me my points. You know what I mean? If you're going to give me points, I'll take points. You know what I mean? Because in a game like this where the over and unders are going to be probably about 70 points, I will definitely take it. You know, I have no problem with doing any of that. And with that being said, you should have no problem with hitting that subscribe button. You know what I mean? Let's be friends so we can all be friends. Let's get on this ship that never sinks, a friendship. And this is That Guy Jig Sports Podcast. I am him, JIG. Subscribe, rate, and review. Remember, tell a friend to tell a friend so that way we can all be friends and get on the ship that never sinks, a friendship. And let's get to this money. I got the picks going up on the Instagram for college football. NFL will be up tomorrow and tonight. Happy betting. Bet responsibly. Let's get it. Be safe. Appreciate you listening. Thanks.